to another exciting installment of Kids Newsroom, your one-stop show for all that is newsy, for all that is current, just for you, the children of Mzansi. Igama lam ngumhlonhlo Buhle Geleba, inzwakazi yaseMampondomiseni. Ukanti ke andihambi ndodwa, I'm with the one and only Prince from Limpopo, Thabelo.
She's absolutely correct. Thank you very much, Buhle, and welcome to all our DTT and SABC2 viewers. Batukubahashu asrotoma nijikombo nando imapanda habe yunui dina langani Thabelo, and I'm so excited to be here with the latest and the freshest in children's news. If I start naming, I will even fall asleep. Without any further ado, let's dive into our headlines.
The Mandela Children's Film Festival honors one of SABC's finest with a Lifetime Award for her phenomenal work in children's programming.
Murengso Uchipera will get up close and personal with one of South Africa's youngest and finest theatre actors, who's also making international waves.
We also catch up with the talented youth from Mshwati in KZN as they prepare to jet off to Turkey. These and many more in our bulletin to follow.
And now let's start today's lineup by looking at national stories making headlines.
Strong is phala phambili kweli loMzantsi Afrika siqale eGqeberha eMpuma Koloni sele iqalile iveki yenzululwazi yesizwe iNational Science Week osonzululwazi boMzantsi Afrika abangama-50 abangaphansi kweminyaka engama-20 baphakathi kwabafundi abangama-200 bezifundo ze-masters kunye ne-PhD abaphuma kumazwe e-BRICS abadibene ukuze baxoxe ngemixholo ehambelana nemingeni yentlalo yoMzantsi Afrika equka ukotshintsha kwemozulu. Izazinzulu eziselula ziyakuvuyela ukutshintshiselana ngezimvo nokukhuthaza imfundo. Ukanti eFreystata ukufunda nokufundisa kuye kwaphazamiseka kwisikolo iRilebuhile Sibulele Secondary kunyanzeleke ukuba babuyiselwe emakhaya abafundi emva kokuba ezinye iiklasi zitshe zaquqa kule mpelaveki. Iiklasi ezisixhenxe zonakele. Umlilo uqale kwamanye amagumbi okufundela kwaye unwenele kwamanye amagumbi okufundela. Kuye kwanyanzeleka ukuba abafundi babuyiselwe emakhaya ukuze kulungiswe uhlengahlengiso lwezifundo. Siqwele zizakweli ngela KwaZulu-Natal, indlu yesomthetho yase-KZN ibambe ingqungquthela yesine yonyaka i-LGBTQIA+ kwiholo yase-Truro eNorthdale. Injongo ibikukubonisa inkxaso kunye nokuncedisa ukuphelisa ucalucalulo kuluntu lwabathandana ngobuni obufanayo phantsi komxholo othi Strengthening Solidarity and Representation. Icandelo le-118 lomgaqo-siseko ligunyazise indlu yesomthetho ukuba ikhuthaze ukubandakanyeka koluntu kuzo zonke inkqubo zomthetho.
And now, let's take a look at what is happening in other countries across the globe.
Tšeo di tšerego šedi mo bekeng ye, pese yeo e bego e rwele baeng ba 18 e lego 48 ka boripana go akaretša bana ka morago ga kotsi ya pese yeo e menogilego e be e lebile motseng wa Covadonga ka Asturias ka leboa la Spain ka mošupologo. Go tšwa go seboleledi sa maphodisa a Spain ba boletše gore kotsi yeo ga se ya hlola mahu le gore ga se ba kgonthišiša gore ke batho ba bakae bao ba gobetšego le ba ditirelo tša tšhoganyetšo di sa dutše di hlahloba banamedi. Moetapele wa selete sa Asturias Adrian Babon o rile yalo. Ge re lebeletše tša ka Germany go tšhimo e kgolo ya diphoofolo e thabiša bana le batho ba bagolo ka mo go swanago ka borwa bja Jeremane mo polasi ya lefelo leo e hlotšego maletlana a manyenyane mašemong a bona a sonoblomo. E otlolola sebaka sa mabala a mane a kgwele ya maoto. Uting Maize ke tlhompho go dilo ka moka tša maletlana a go swana le Disney yeo ngwageng o e ketekago segopotšo sa gagwe. Bana ba ba be ba thabile kudu go bona tša tiragalo yeo ya maletlana go swana le Mickey Mouse. Ge re lebeletše tšeo di tšerego šedi go la Sweden, bafaladi ba Sweden ba ka fetša diiri tše di fihlago go tše tshela ba le mothalong go tlatša di-jerrycan tše di sego kae tšeo ba nago le tšona ka metsi. Mofaladi yo mongwe o boletše gore ka ge di-temperature di phagame le go hloka metsi a go ela dikampeng tša bafaladi tša Chad di kgoma ba magolo. Bafaladi ba re gape go na le bothata bjo bo mpefaditšwego ka dintlwana tša boithomelo ka ge metsi a le a mannyane a le a go nwa.
Children should hear, see, and express themselves, their culture, their language, and their life experiences through electronic media, which affirm their sense of self, community, and place. This is stated by the Africa Charter on Children's Broadcasting. One person who's dedicated her entire career to the lives of children in South Africa and Africa at large is SABC2 Programs Manager Jackie Hlongwane. And for her hard work, she was recently awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award at the 6th Annual Nelson Mandela Children's Film Festival. And of course, we were there to capture the festivities.
Children should have programs of high quality made specifically for them. One person who is a true advocate for this is Jackie Hlongwane, Programs Manager at SABC2. She was recently awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award at this year's Nelson Mandela Children's Film Festival, which was held in Houghton, Johannesburg.
Empeleni ngijabulile kakhulu bengakalindele such a huge award, Lifetime Achievement Award, but ngijabulile ngiyabonga, and I think nje encourage ukuthi ngiqhubeke ngomsebenzi sisebenze nabantwana, because children's programming it's important in terms of ukukhulisa abantwana bethu so that one day they can be the leaders, abaholi bethu, and take this country forward. It's been workshopped by the kids. They decided what should happen, what should not happen.
Believe it or not, Jackie's career spans over 2 decades. She worked as a producer. She played very important roles in creating many children's shows ranging in genre and content, like our very own Kids Newsroom, Takalani Sesame, Take 5, and others.
Everything I've ever done, obviously, was to just try and make an impact in an audience that is often neglected in our country, our children. I think it's important to use the power of media in a responsible way, especially when it comes to children. And if you want to have a great country that is prosperous, you have to start young. You have to start when the kids are young and teach them and expose them to content that will not only entertain them, but also will educate and empower them and help them to be critical thinkers who will be able to lead this country. And so you can't start when they're old, because it's already too late.
Celebrating its 6th anniversary, the Mandela Children's Film Festival screens different content from countries around the world. This year, they screened films from Palestine and Jordan as well.
We drew up the Africa Charter on Children's Broadcasting. Article 4, which is the most important, that says children should hear, see and express themselves, their languages and their life's experiences through the electronic media that reaffirms their sense of self, community and place. And for many, many years, just as we came into a new South Africa, we actually didn't have guidelines for broadcasting for children. And most of the time, content wasn't produced for children. And if you're very young, but in the old days, we basically had English and Afrikaans as the 2 languages in which content was given to children. So we worked really hard as the Children and Broadcasting Foundation for Africa to change that landscape.
We surely have come a long way. The film festival was established to continue the late Nelson Mandela's passion for supporting and nurturing the youth as leaders of tomorrow.
So Jackie Hlongwane has been in this area of children and youth media for a very long time. We probably met in the early 90s. I remember when Jackie had started at the SABC, and we sat around a table because we were thinking about drawing up the Africa Charter on Children's Broadcasting, Jackie was always part of that conversation. So it's almost as if she grew up with us. She defended children's rights. She made sure, for example, Kids News is back. All of the content that she thought about has always been child-focused, child-centered, child-orientated. And then to look inward, to look at our own, to say, who from ourselves do we want to celebrate? And Jackie was definitely the one that we wanted to celebrate.
As we celebrate Women's Month, we would like to thank Jackie Hlongwane for her amazing work in the children's television world and her continuous effort to uplift the standard of children's content in Africa. She is a true heroine as KNR City Halala Jackie and forward with children's programming.
Let it go.
Asanda Vani is a theatre performer and singer who was born in South Africa and currently resides in the UK. She was raised in an artistic environment and started performing at the age of 3 in her kindergarten or creche, as we know it, where she was well known for numerous songs from her favorite cartoons and shows. She's also been a part of the Broadway scene and performed in numerous supporting roles in Disney productions. And guess what? In between her busy schedule, she's made time to be right here in studio with us today. Welcome to KNR, Asanda. It's great to meet you.
Thank you. It's great to meet you too.
Just before we get deep into our conversation, let's hear about all your achievements. Briefly tell us about yourself. Who is Asanda?
Okay, so my name, of course, is Asanda Vani, and I'm 11 years old, and I was born here in South Africa. And then when I was about 8 years old, or 9, my first ever musical was A Christmas Carol, and then I moved on to Frozen.
Oh, okay, nice. You have appeared in multiple Disney productions, and congratulations for your achievements. That's every child's dream, I'm sure. Tell us about that. How did it happen, and how was it?
Well, first of all, when I was auditioning for Frozen, I wasn't supposed to audition, but then me and my mum were just like, let's just go. And then we went, and then I had to wait for about 3 weeks. And then once I heard I got it, I was so happy, because ever since I was little, I've loved Frozen.
You started acting at a very young age. What is it that you love about acting and singing?
I just don't know why. I just really love singing and acting.
Oh. When I was doing my research and digging, I learned that you grew up in an artistic household. What role did your family play in your music and theatre journey?
Well, I think that the reason why I wanted to sing was because of my dad, because he's a singer. And yeah, and then I just thought maybe I could act while I'm singing too.
You played Elsa in Frozen, one of children's favorite Disney tales. Tell us about the character. What is it that you loved and maybe hated?
Okay, so I am an Elsa, but I used to be a young Anna. So now that I'm a young Elsa, I really miss being a young Anna, because Elsa sometimes is a bit too serious. And Anna, she could just be crazy.
I'm sure other children out there would love to be in your position. Can you share with us some of the tricks or trade on how you prepare to get into character on some of your roles?
So, of course, we do rehearsals, and that's a month or so. And then while I'm at home, I have to practice my lines. I have to try and get into character before I do the show. And before the show, there's a dress rehearsal show where they invite some people to watch, and then, of course, there could be something that goes wrong, but that's why they do the rehearsal.
Oh, okay. What would you say to some of the challenges you've had to face in your career as an actress and singer? How did you overcome them?
Well, when I was little, I did have stage fright, and I still kind of do, because I get butterflies whenever I'm about to start the show. But then as I start the show, they just go away.
I also have lots of butterflies, but we'll talk about that later. I'm sure that you have people that look up to you in this path. Who is that person and why?
Okay, wait, what's the question?
The question was, I'm sure you have people that you look up to.
Yeah.
Who is that person and why do you look up to that person?
Sometimes I look up to my dad because he was also an actor and a singer. He was an actor in The Lion King. Wow. Yeah. And yeah, I just wanted to do that too.
Well, South Africa has exported a lot of talent here to Sombedu, John Carney, Lebu M. The list is endless. What can we expect of you in the future?
Well, maybe you will see me as like a big singer. Maybe. But I also want to be a fashion designer.
That's so amazing. Thank you very much for the time that you gave us. I really enjoyed this interview. I have a lot to discuss with you.
Okay.
Glad to see you back in the saddle. Now come on in and make yourself at home again. It seems August is quite the sporty month with the Netball World Cup, the Soccer World Cup and South Africa really shining at these events. Along with that, the Inter-Provincial Action Hockey Tournament has officially begun at the Centurion Action Hockey Facilities in Pretoria. Midlands Under-20 hockey squad comes into this competition as the reigning champions. We caught up with them while they were preparing for this tournament.
The Inter-Provincial Action Hockey Tournament has officially started at Centurion Action Hockey Facilities in Pretoria the past few days, with days of practice for the Midlands Under-20 hockey team. This team enters this tournament as the defending gold medalist.
The development of the sport, I think it's going well. When I was in school, there was very little talk about this, and now of recent, I've just heard such good information coming out, and such good information coming out about, you know, the sport, and so many more people trying to play and stuff. And so, yeah, I definitely advise anyone, if you love hockey, it doesn't matter if it's indoor or field hockey, must just come out and try. Yeah.
Players agree that the group is tight-knit and set to defend its gold title from last year.
We want to bring home gold as the under-23 team. We want to go and defend our title from last year. Not just defend it, but also climb the level up. We won silver last year, but now we're looking to achieve gold this year.
Ngizela ukusodlala ihockey. Ngiyazi ukuthi ihockey ekwezinye izikole ayibi khona njenge sports sikhona esikoleni kusikhathi sibe nenkinga zama ground. Ikona sesikhathi kunjani mhlawumbe sicela ukuthi abazali basisize.
We have a better turnout this year. We're looking to take more teams. We have under-18 team that's actually on trial, under-23 girls team that's also on trial, and then our under-23 boys team who's going back to defend their silver medal.
And so the stage is set. In a few days, we will know who walks out with the year's champion title. Good luck to all the teams and may the best group win.
Kids in the rural areas don't often get the opportunity to show off their talents. This is due to challenges with resources in these areas. But the Thembanjilo Foundation decided that it was up to them to create an opportunity for the children in Mshwati in KwaZulu-Natal to show off their artistic skills. Right now, these youngsters are getting ready to head off to Turkey to represent Mzansi at a prestigious competition. Let's check out what went down.
Sonke mbukeli siyazi ukuthi ukusebenzisana ndawonye kubalulekile ukuze sithuthuke siwumphakathi. Yingakho ke intsha eyi15 eqhamuka lapha eMshwathi ihlanganyele ndawonye nentsha eqhamuka endaweni yaseMsunduzi ukuze phela yakhe iqembu elizoya ukuyomela umkhandlu emqhudelwaneni wamazwe angu27 ozoba sezweni laseTurkey.
Kukwakha umuntu omusha ngaso sonke isikhathi ukuthi umuntu omusha avuseleleke ngoba ngesikuphikiso ukuthi swalahlile amasiko ethu kodwa thina njenge Thembanjilo Foundation njenge Pride of Africa ukuvuselela umuntu omnyama ukuthi azigqaje futhi azihloniphe azazi ukuthi ubani uphumaphi ngoba uma uzazi ukuthi uphumaphi uyazi ukuthi uyapi.
right now I'm very, very happy with Silasi Konjangamanje because as a Pride of Africa, and it is a huge privilege for us to travel amazwe.
iThemba Njilo Foundation idlala indima eqhakathekile mbukeli kulolu hlelo kwazise ukuthi yiyona evundulula lentsha yasemshwathi enamakhono. Lentsha ke ibe seyithola uqeqesho olusezingeni eliphezulu ngokulekelelwa ngubaba uThemba Njilo.
Le program lengiqale ngo2012 la ngitraina khona ingane kakhulu zasemakhaya eziqhamuke emndenini njena eHlwempu ngiziqeqeshe ngizinikeze amakhono mase sengizitrainile bese ke ngikwazi kuya nazo phesheya. So nginama invitation amaningi afika umnyaka wonke nje kuloko nje benginama invitation amaningi kodwa ngasithi angithathe le yase Turkey ngoba yona ngibona ukuthi ithatha nje only 10 days.
Nabagqugquzeli nabo bathi bayaziqhenya ngaleli qembu.
Mhlawumbe ukubavalelisa kwethu okukhulu singathi nje siyafisa uNkulunkulu ehambe nabo, siyafisa ukuthi befike phambili la beyakhona benze konke okusemandleni abo ukuthi iflag lasemshwathi, iflag lase South Africa libe phezulu njalo.
Siyithimba leKids Newsroom siyathemba ke mbukeli ukuthi leli qembu lizofika phesheya kwezilwandle lenze ezibukwayo. Thina sithi halala Themba Njilo Foundation halala.
Now that was absolutely exciting. You know what warms my heart is anything that has to do with talent, being dance, theatre, you name it. Now, Tabelo, do you have a secret hidden talent or something that you're just really good at, that you love doing?
I'm really good at debating. I'm really good at being RCL, and I'm really good at what I'm doing right now. I really love doing things when in front of the camera, in front of people.
Yes.
What is your talent?
Mine is dancing. I love being on stage. I used to do a bit of theatre, but I will tell you after the show because that is all I have for you today.
Okay. In case I don't get to see you soon, that is good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And join us again next week, Friday, 16:30 at 4:30. Di nalagarita biro. Bon voyage!
And if you've just joined us, unfortunately, you have missed the show, but do not worry, catch our repeat on SABC2 at 6:30 a.m. every Saturday morning if you've missed any part of the show. Kodwa ke okwangoku mna nawe siyakudibana ngexesha elizayo. Goodbye.
Thank you.